Hello and welcome back to Fee Gaming. We are once again playing The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, and we had just received a letter from the Pope, not the Pope dude, the priest at the chapel, and he asked us to deliver it to a colleague in Bose. We came into the guild to see if there was any more, but there weren't any more, so that's one thing. And obviously, as I just mentioned, we'll be going to Bose in this episode to finally start the main storyline of this game. But first, let's just talk to Ina quick. Oh, you haven't left yet? In order to reach Bose, you'll need to head west on the Milch Main Road. I'll contact the Bracer Guild branch and let them know you're coming. Make sure to be extra careful whilst you're away. Sure, I heard you're taking these two and heading to Bose. Yes, that's right. Without Cassius around, will I be able to handle the jobs? What are you babbling about? You're supposed to be a man, right? The work may get a bit tougher to deal with whilst we're gone, but I'm counting on you. Don't let me down. I'll do my best. You know, I never noticed that there was a, Oh, let me get to the fucking doorway. This doorway here. Oh, it's just a, flower garden. Okay. Have I spoken to everyone? I'm not sure. Ah, okay. I've spoken to this guy. Oh hey, Joshua and Estelle, what's with the baggage? Actually Estelle and Joshua fill Elgar in on the details. Cassius has what? And that's why you're headed to Bose? Of all people, I can't imagine that anything has happened to him. Yes, I'm under the same assumption. Which is why we're off to Bose to check on things. Just sitting around would hardly make us feel any better. Understandable. That's just like you kids too. Well, with Sherazade tagging along, I guess there's nothing to be worried about. Good luck and be careful out there. We will! Alright, I'll make sure to let Stella know about this myself. I imagine she'll probably be a bit flustered at the news. Anything I can buy? Doesn't look like there's anything worth it. Hello there. Well, tell me everything. How's work? Going well? I don't know if I have the heart to tell her what's going on this time. Same here. She'll probably cry herself to sleep if we did. So apparently she's a big old softie. Well, that's an awful lot of baggage you have. Off on a vacation, are you? Where are you headed? Well, it's no pleasure trip, but we're headed to Bose for a bit. Bose, you say? But the airliners have been grounded. Don't tell me you're planning to foot it the whole way. That's right, we are. We've been told that the trip is doable. Well, that's true. It's not so far. But it's not that close either. It must be tough being a bracer. Are all your preparations in order? Do take care of yourselves. Oh, that's why we're here. Ah, a new news article to read before we go. And... ooh. I mean, I can afford it. But should I? I'm gonna say no on this one. Always have a bit of a hard time figuring out this menu. It's mainly the keys I have to press. I always forget which key does what. Breaking story, disappearance of Valinde. Gone without a trace, where could it be? Yesterday afternoon, the airliner Linde vanished over the East Bose airspace while en route to Roland. An exhaustive overnight search conducted by the Royal Army yielded no clues to its whereabouts, leaving all parties absolutely baffled. In response to this incident, the Army has declared all airliner flights cancelled until further notice. The Liberal Orbal Corporation reports that 17 were aboard the Linde at the time of its departure, including both passengers and crew. Family members of these missing persons are understandably concerned, but remain hopeful. The probability of accident is low, says experts. Central Factory Chief Murdoch proclaims, "Our Orbal engines are sturdy and reliable. The chance of an engine failure is virtually nil. I do not believe an accident to have occurred." Rumours and theories are abound. Was it a conspiracy perpetrated by the Royal Army and the covert mercenary force comprised of Jaegers? Perhaps it was a plot to kidnap the passengers and hold them for ransom. Some have even suggested that the Linde came under attack by the last living ancient dragon. No matter what anyone may have heard, it's all just speculation at this point, as no real evidence has as of yet been found. The Royal Army is investigating a possible connection between this incident and the recent burglaries in Bose, but thus far no information on any such connection has been released. In fact, no information has been released at all due to Army regulations prohibiting dissemination of intelligence to the general public, a policy that I'm sure we'd all like to see repealed. The crystal stolen in a daring robbery. A group of unknown individuals recently broke into Roland's mayor's house to steal a septum crystal that was left in his possession. Local bracers came to the rescue and managed to recover the stolen item, but the culprits are still at large. Thankfully, no harm came to the mayor or his family during the incident. We deeply regret that the criminals escaped, says a Roland Bracer representative, but please know that we of the Bracer Guild did everything in our power to apprehend them and will continue the pursuit for how long it may take. I'm talking a bit too quick, clearly. Touring ancient sites, the Roland region and the Esmelis Tower. The Esmelis Tower lies a few hundred sails to the north of Roland City, along the Malga Trail. Its turquoise-green visage is the only real landmark, for as far as I can see, counting as one of the 4 tetracyclic towers. Its purpose is still shrouded in mystery to this day. Its exciting location is as old as the Bell itself. A modern research utilizing the latest Orbal technology is expected to answer a few questions about this eerie structure, whilst posing still more. You know, that's actually pretty good news paper. Well, if you ignore the format, because it had limitations with the format. Are you going on a trip with all that luggage? Let me know if you find anyone out there that would make a good bride for my son. I'll fly out there to meet them in person. Poor guy can't get a break. Oh. I didn't realize that if you press the start button, it will actually tell you the names of the exits. That's a handy little thing. Do I need to leave through the Milch Main Road? I think it was this one. I don't think there's any real need to attack any shiny poms, but if I come across one, I'll give it a go. Just mash it with as many of the shadow spears as I can. Yeah, it doesn't look like I've got any poms to deal with. Hello there. Are you headed for Bose? We are, but how did you know we weren't just visiting again? Well, a number of people like yourselves have been passing through lately. Exponentially more than usual. Is that because the flights have been suspended in the airspace over Bose? That's exactly what happened. You wouldn't believe how busy this place got because of it. Well, the Royal Army is responsible for the restricted flights. So you're really not in a position to complain. Yeah, I guess you're right about that. Oh, and another thing, traffic through this checkpoint is also being regulated. If you want to get through here, you'll have to go and get a pass from the chief warrant officer next door. Okay. Since joining the army, this is the first time I've ever been so busy in my life. I guess this is no time to be fishing or reading books. I just bought this book, but I guess I'll give it to you. The chief would be livid if he caught me with this. The Cornelia, Chapter 2. How about we give it a quick read right now? No real reason not to. The train station. Hello there, Toby. You've come at just the right time. Greeting me with these words, Mitch shuffled slightly in his seat behind the counter. The baked confections he had been eating was ever so carefully placed atop his lap to prevent it from falling onto the floor. He smacked both of his powdered sugar-covered hands together with a clap, and a cloud of white particles puffed into the air. The smell of sweet spices and baked apple pervaded the dimly lit shop. We had an item dropped off no more than a few minutes ago, he continued. Turning in his seat, Mick reached back and snatched up something wrapped in an old magazine paper from off the shelf. Toss it to me. Knowing full well I wouldn't get any sort of answer, I asked anyway. What do we have this time? Laying out my railway and airship tickets, Mick ignored my question and said, Make sure to get this. This gets to the same place as always. In his slow drawl, he added, It would be in your best interest to keep your involvement to a minimum by leaving the business side of things to me and focusing solely on getting the job done, Toby. Oh, one moment. He leaned back on his chair and let out a deep sigh, the balls of his fingers kneading the bags under his eyes. Then once again, his large hand extended down towards the unattended cake resting on his leg. Before the sweet treat could reach his watering mouth, I had already made my way out of the door of his tiny shop. As I walked, the waste paper bundled package bounced around inside the folds of my bag. By the feel of its shape and weight as it beat steadily against my side, I concluded that the object in my possession was probably just more swag. It didn't make me nervous not to know what it was that I was carrying, for I had done this type of job many times before, and no matter what kind of trouble I found myself wrapped up in, I had always somehow managed to come out unscathed. In truth, my experience on the job had made me tough and had become well versed in the art of orbal magic. So it was that when I laid eyes on that rough looking trio at the station, I felt no more knots of uneasiness in the pit of my stomach than was necessary for someone of my abilities. The platform for the train bound for the Belle was a bustle with passengers awaiting its eventual arrival. Seeing that the benches were so crammed full of people that they could have very well been a tin of packed sardines, I resigned myself to standing near the entrance. It's kind of hard for me to follow the way this is written, I admit. I suppose it would be like the old-timey colloquialisms, you know? As I patiently waited for the train to come in, twisting my body in order to move the bag to my other shoulder, I noticed the figures of two men, heads bent together and conversing in an inaudible tone. They stood just beyond the ticket gate, right about where the horse head of the imperial emblem lay, embedded in the ground in a grand mosaic of tiles. After a short interim, another man approached and joined in the conversation. From my own perspective, this was one ragtag group I most certainly couldn't have given a passing grade to based on looks. All three were extremely well built and sported the same haircut. To put it mildly, they stuck out in the crowd like a bunch of sore thumbs. Making sure to avoid eye contact with them as they glanced in my direction, I slung my bag back onto my shoulder and ever so calmly reached my hand into my pocket and ran the tips of my fingers across the surface of my ornament. A woman's voice reverberated in the walls of the station, notifying the passengers that the train had arrived. The low rumble of an orbital engine could be felt in the distance, and after a few moments, a large vehicle was seen rolling up on the shoulder. I muttered to myself, "All is well," but the sound of my voice was drowned out by the din of the massive machine. Brakes screeched, and the flash of black light reflected off of the surface of the giant iron beast as it came sliding in across the rails. The immense vibration in the air emanating from the moving locomotive at its epicenter let me know that the orbital engine had been put into full reverse in order to decelerate and bring the train into a grinding halt. While being shoved to and fro by the waves of impatient travellers flooding out of the waiting area, I was swept towards one door of a passenger car. As we passed by the conductor, I caught another glimpse of a ticket gate. The men who were once there were now gone, and the only thing that remained was the profile of the horse made of glossy tiles glaring back at me in the shade of deep crimson. I feel like that was hard to read, but it might have just been me. Either way, I can't wait for the next issue. I usually never read those books, but it turns out they're actually surprisingly interesting. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua too. Hello, Mr. Ashton. And this is Sherazade, if I remember correctly, right? Good afternoon, sir. We'd like to cross over into the Bose region, so we were wondering about getting a pass. Let me guess. This has something to do with Valende, doesn't it? Yeah. Estelle explains that Cassius was aboard the missing airliner. Goodness, Cassius was aboard? This is major. I'll issue you a pass right away. Thank you, sir. But is it alright if you issue us a pass just like this? What are you talking about? I know you kids by the face. And as a member of the Royal Army, I should do my best to cooperate with the Bracer Guild. Oh, but one other thing. Huh? Be careful if you have any errands at the Harken Gate north of here. You might want to hide your identities as braces there. What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I can't say any more about the matter. But if you do intend to investigate the incident, please do so with discretion. I pray to Adius for Cassius' safe return. Alright, we got one. Well, that was quick. Okay then. How about I open the gate for you? Alright, you're clear to go on through. Once you cross over, you won't be able to come back unless you get a pass from the other side. Please be aware of that before you cross. Got it! Hi, are you headed to Bose? We are currently in a state of emergency. We are looking for any suspicious individuals among those heading from Bose to Roland. The Eisen Road, which runs north of the East Bose Highway, is blocked right now. For those heading to the north border, they'll have to go to Bose first and then wait until the road reopens. Anything over here for me to loot? Nope. What about over here? Nope. What do we have here this time? Braces? Travelling the roads on foot is a bit of a hassle, isn't it? Well, be careful out there. You know, I love this spot. This is the perfect spot for some reading. Or exercising. Out of the way with nobody just poking their fingers at you and laughing because they're selfish little gits that aren't considerate of anyone. Might as well get that one. Never thought of it, thought it before. Whack! And you too. Savannah drops wind and water sepith. Could do some more wind and fire. So I should kill every single one of those I see. I wonder. Oh, that one. Okay, so I can't get both. What about this snake? Hurricane it. Fire and time, I believe that was. Or was that space?
Seems you came up short.
I should aim to finish more fights with Shara. Looks like that one's surprisingly tough.
Piece of cake.
Oh. Large monster. Okay, let's get it. Might as well. Oh. Okay. Perhaps it wasn't such a good idea after all. You need to move. That way I can at least get 2 of you at once. Nice dodge. Okay, this will be the time for a hurricane. Oh, Mountain gets all 4. Nice. Okay. So I want to be using orbital arts for these. I don't have anything that has enough of an AoE. Screw it, I'll go with that one. Oh. Okay, what about you? You want Wind Strike. And as for you, you might as well attack that. Hellgate that. Oh no. Shit.
Not now.
Do I have anything? Ah, potluck in a shell. I even learned a recipe. That's good. Okay, you heal Josh. Okay, and Shadow Spear you. Airstrike you. Heal yourself. Seriously?
Not now.
Dude, you had one job, and that's not to die. Oh, I still can't move. I don't want to kill it just yet. Reviving bomb. Josh, get your ass up. Okay.
Piece of cake.
I mean, it was an okay amount of XP. But it was way more difficult than it really had any right to be. Okay, you heal everyone. I'll do. Nebel values up. We want to go this way. But first I want to kill that guy. Once we get into the city, we'll end the episode. It shouldn't take too long.
Oh, are we done already?
Actually, I wonder if I can cook anything. Good. Having natural revival items is so much better.
Piece of cake.
Oh, my mustache. Need to shave. What's that headed this way? Well, if it's a Charizard, how have you been? Fine. I haven't seen you in a while either. What are you up to? As you can see, I'm doing an escort job. I'm sure that you've heard all about the airliners being grounded after the Linde incident, right? Because of that, we have to move all the cargo in the Royal City by ground transport. I see. Well, your efforts are appreciated. So how about yourself? What are you doing with these youngsters? Don't tell me you're looking into the incident. That was the plan? Why? Do you know something we should be aware of? Well, I think it would be best if you spoke with Lugren about it at the Bose branch. Anyway, I've got to get going. Catch you later. How about a good coffee? First, Mr. Ashton and now him. Everyone keeps hinting at something, but no one will just come out and say it. I wonder what's up. Well, there must be a good reason for it. And we'll probably find our answers at the Bose branch. Agreed. If we do as he suggests and ask Lugren about it, we may just get a clue as to what's going on. Anyway, let's get moving. I'm surprised there's no treasure chests around here. Perhaps they anticipated that people would be over-leveled on the way to Bose. Yeah, it looks like they just anticipated that people would be way too over-leveled on the way to Bose, so it really wouldn't be a challenge anyway, and they wouldn't need the help of loot. Okay, this is where we want to go. We don't want to go to Hawking Gate. Bose, the northern block. We finally made it here. This is the commercial city of Bose, which sits at the heart of the Bose region. Wow, this definitely looks like a city. Of the 5 major cities in the world, this one comes next right after the Royal City. Compared to Roland, the buildings are all made of stone and seem a lot bigger. Does anyone have any idea what that huge building is over there? That's the Bose Market. It's an indoor marketplace made up of various shops. Food, clothing, sundry goods, furniture, books, and so on. You can pretty much buy everything here with the exception of weapons and ornaments. It's not surprising that they call this place a commercial city. Man, I really wish this trip could have been just for shopping. Maybe some other time. Let's first stop by the guild and find out what's going on with regarding the incident. Oh, alright. Just so you know, the Bracer Guild is just right over there. Well, no real indicator, but it's just like, yeah, it's right above us. Not an issue though. I'm going to save and end this episode here. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I think I did a pretty decent job this time with the episode. I don't think I sounded too mumbly. I've already said I hope you enjoyed yourself. See you next time, and have a good day.